Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling strangely tired, doubting yourself, or carrying anger that wasn't even yours to begin with? Maybe you replayed the moment in your mind, wondering how a simple interaction left you feeling smaller, weaker, or emotionally drained. And the worst part is, it doesn't happen once. It happens again and again, until one day you realize certain people always leave you feeling worse than before you met them. Toxic people rarely arrive wearing warning signs. They often come disguised as friends, co-workers, relatives, or even people you once trusted deeply. At first, their behavior seems normal. Maybe they joke too harshly, criticize too often, or constantly shift blame. But slowly, almost invisibly, they begin to steal something precious from you, your peace of mind. The danger is not loud. It is quiet. It builds slowly. One negative comment here, one guilt trip there, one manipulation disguised as concern. And before you realize it, your confidence begins to shrink. You start questioning your own decisions. You walk on emotional eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing. Many people spend years believing they are the problem. They try harder. They become more patient. They apologize more. They tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace. But here is the harsh truth: peace built on self-sacrifice is not peace. It is emotional captivity. Psychology teaches us something powerful. Human beings adapt to emotional environments. If you stay too long around negativity, manipulation, and constant criticism, your mind starts accepting it as normal. Your energy drops. Your motivation weakens. Your dreams feel heavier. Toxic influence slowly reshapes your self-image. And this is why dealing with toxic people is not about winning arguments or proving someone wrong. It is about protecting your mental space, your focus, your emotional strength, because your future depends on the quality of your mind, not the opinions of people who drain it. Strong people are not those who shout the loudest or fight every battle. Strong people are those who understand where their energy should and should not go. They know that emotional control is power. They recognize that not everyone deserves access to their time, thoughts, or heart. Think about this for a moment. How different would your life look if you stopped letting negativity control your mood? If criticism no longer ruined your day, if manipulative words lost their power over you, imagine walking into any room calm, confident, and mentally untouchable. That freedom is possible, but it requires awareness and strategy. And here is the promise. In this video, you will discover clever, practical, psychological strategies to deal with toxic people without becoming toxic yourself. You will learn how to stay calm when others try to provoke you, how to protect your emotional energy, and how to stop carrying the weight of other people's negativity. These are skills emotionally strong people use every day, often without even realizing it. And if you stay with this message until the end, you will walk away with a mindset shift that can permanently change how people treat you. You will understand how to protect your peace, command respect without conflict, and build emotional boundaries that make you stronger in every area of life. Because the truth is simple, your life becomes lighter when you stop allowing heavy people to live inside your mind. And once you learn how to deal with toxic behavior intelligently, you stop reacting and start choosing peace. And everything changes from there. Then continue to the next section, which should be 500-600 words, following the same instructions above. Keep a clear flow, connecting smoothly to the previous section to make it feel professional. Never mention the motivational speaker or things like, or the next section we will discuss. But understanding the damage toxic people cause is only the beginning. Real power appears the moment you change how you respond to them. Because here is something most people never realize: that toxic people do not control you through strength. They control you through your reactions. The first clever shift is simple, yet incredibly powerful. Stop giving emotional reactions. Toxic individuals thrive on emotional chaos. When they criticize, provoke, or insult, they are often searching for one thing: a reaction. Anger, frustration, defense, or desperation feeds their sense of control. The moment you react emotionally, they feel victorious. But when you stay calm, something unexpected happens. Their power disappears. Imagine someone trying to start an argument, expecting you to explode, and instead they meet calm silence or a composed response. Their strategy collapses. Emotional discipline is not weakness. It is silent strength. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It means choosing when and where to express them. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves a response. Sometimes, the strongest move is simply refusing to play the game. When your emotions become yours again, manipulation loses its grip. Another essential step is creating clear personal boundaries. Many people suffer because they never learned how to say no. They fear rejection, they fear conflict, so they tolerate disrespect, constant demands, and emotional pressure just to avoid discomfort. But every time you allow someone to cross your limits, you teach them how to treat you. Boundaries are not walls to push people away. They are filters that protect your peace. Saying no does not make you rude. It makes you honest. It tells others that your time, energy, and mental health matter. And surprisingly, people respect those who respect themselves. Toxic people often test limits repeatedly. They borrow your time without gratitude. They expect endless emotional support, but disappear when you need help. They criticize your choices while demanding your attention. Without boundaries, their demands grow. With boundaries, their influence shrinks. Setting boundaries may feel uncomfortable at first. Some people might react negatively because they benefited from your silence before. But remember this, people who are upset by your boundaries were often the ones enjoying your lack of them. Temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term peace. Picture how your life changes when you stop answering every unnecessary call, stop explaining every decision, and stop apologizing for protecting your time. Your energy becomes stronger. Your confidence grows. You begin to feel lighter. The goal is not to fight toxic people. The goal is to become emotionally unavailable to their games. When reactions disappear and boundaries appear, something powerful happens. Toxic individuals slowly lose interest because they can no longer control the situation. And in that space, where drama once lived, peace finally begins to grow. And once your reactions are under control and your boundaries are in place, something interesting begins to happen. You start seeing toxic behavior more clearly. Situations that once confused you now make sense. Words that once hurt you begin to reveal hidden intentions behind them. Awareness becomes your next level of protection. Toxic people often rely on manipulation, not confrontation. They rarely attack directly. Instead, they twist conversations, shift blame, and make you feel responsible for problems you didn't create. One moment they hurt you, and the next they act like the victim. Slowly, you begin apologizing just to end the tension, even when you did nothing wrong. This psychological trick is powerful because it creates self-doubt. You start questioning your memory, your feelings, even your judgment. But the moment you recognize these patterns, their control weakens. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see everything clearly. Notice how some people always avoid responsibility. How every conflict somehow becomes your fault. How they use guilt to control your choices. They might say things like, "After everything I've done for you," or "You're too sensitive," or "You always misunderstand." These phrases are not solutions, they are tools used to keep you emotionally trapped. When you begin to recognize manipulation, you stop reacting automatically. Instead of defending yourself endlessly, you observe calmly. You step back mentally. And when you stop playing their emotional game, they lose their advantage. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. Peace replaces confusion. Another clever protection strategy is limiting how much personal information you share. Not everyone deserves access to your struggles, fears, or future plans. Some people listen not to support you, but to collect information they can later use against you. Have you ever shared a dream with someone, only to hear it mocked later? Or trusted someone with your struggles, only to have them thrown back at you during an argument? Toxic people often store your vulnerabilities like ammunition, and when conflict appears, they use it to hurt you where you are weakest. Privacy, therefore, becomes emotional armor. The less toxic people know about your inner world, the less power they have over it. You don't need to announce every plan or explain every move. Silence often protects success better than conversation. Strong individuals learn to share selectively. They speak about goals with those who support growth, not with those who secretly hope for failure. They protect their struggles from those who might use them to manipulate or belittle. Imagine how much lighter life feels when your weaknesses are safe, your plans are protected, and your emotions are no longer exposed to people who misuse them. Your confidence grows quietly. Your progress becomes steady. And as awareness sharpens and privacy strengthens, toxic behavior loses its influence even more. Because when manipulation fails and information is limited, control disappears. And in that space, your emotional independence begins to take root. As your emotional independence grows, another powerful shift begins to take place. Situations that once pulled you into arguments or emotional storms start losing their grip. You begin to realize something freeing: not every conflict deserves your participation. Not every challenge deserves your energy. And this understanding opens the door to one of the strongest skills you can develop: emotional detachment. Detachment does not mean becoming cold or heartless. It means choosing peace over unnecessary drama. Toxic people often try to pull others into constant conflict because chaos keeps attention focused on them. They provoke reactions, create tension, and drag small disagreements into endless battles. But when you learn to detach emotionally, their tactics stop working. Imagine someone trying to provoke you, expecting anger or defense, and instead you respond calmly or choose silence. The situation loses heat, the emotional hook disappears, and you walk away with your peace intact. Many people feel they must defend themselves every time they are criticized or misunderstood. They argue to clear their name. They fight to prove their point. But this constant defense drains mental energy. It steals focus from what truly matters. Sometimes, the smartest response is no response at all. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Not every rumor needs explanation. Not every insult needs revenge. When you detach emotionally, you stop allowing others to control your mood. You choose inner stability over temporary victory. And ironically, this calm confidence often earns more respect than loud arguments ever could. At the same time, emotional detachment creates space for something far more valuable: personal growth. Because the truth is, the more time you spend fighting negativity, the less time you invest in building your future. Toxic people trap others in cycles of drama, distraction, and emotional exhaustion. But when you redirect your energy towards self-improvement, everything begins to change. Instead of proving people wrong through arguments, you prove them wrong through progress. You invest in your skills, your health, your goals, and your mindset. Growth becomes your focus, not conflict. And here is something powerful. As you improve your life, toxic people often become uncomfortable. They cannot manipulate someone who is busy building success. They cannot control someone who values progress over approval. Slowly, they lose interest because your attention is no longer available for drama. Think about how different life feels when your mornings start with purpose instead of emotional stress. When your thoughts focus on goals instead of past arguments. When your energy goes into growth instead of survival. That shift changes everything. Winning quietly is often stronger than fighting loudly. Success creates distance where arguments once lived. And when your life begins moving forward, negativity struggles to keep up. In this calm space, you discover something powerful. Peace is not found by defeating toxic people. It is found by outgrowing the situations where they once had power. And from that place of growth, a final realization begins to form. Sometimes the strongest move is not to fix the relationship, but to leave it behind entirely. And when growth becomes your priority, a truth slowly becomes impossible to ignore. Not every relationship can be repaired. Not every connection deserves endless chances. Sometimes, despite patience, boundaries, and emotional discipline, the toxicity remains. And in those moments, the most powerful decision you can make is also the hardest: knowing when to walk away. Walking away is often misunderstood. Many people see it as quitting, as weakness, or as failure. They stay in unhealthy relationships out of guilt, loyalty, or fear of being judged. They convince themselves that things will improve if they try harder, stay longer, or sacrifice more. But there comes a point when staying costs more than leaving. Every day spent around constant negativity chips away at your confidence. Every argument drains emotional strength. Every manipulation steals peace. And slowly, without noticing, You begin to lose yourself just to keep others comfortable. But here is the reality: protecting your mental health is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot build a strong future while carrying emotional weight that was never yours to begin with. Walking away is not about hurting someone. It is about saving yourself. Some people will never respect your boundaries. Some will continue to criticize, manipulate, or drain your energy no matter how patient you are. And when change becomes impossible, distance becomes the solution. Distance is sometimes the only language toxic behavior understands. Choosing to walk away does not mean you hate the person. It means you love your peace more. It means you understand that your emotional well-being matters. It means you refuse to keep fighting battles that only leave you wounded. And something surprising happens when you finally let go. The silence feels strange at first. You may question your decision. You may even miss familiar chaos. But slowly, clarity replaces confusion. Stress begins to fade. Energy returns. You start feeling like yourself again. Life becomes lighter when toxic voices are no longer constantly present. Your confidence rebuilds. Your focus sharpens. You begin making decisions based on growth, not fear. And for the first time in a long time, you feel emotionally free. The strongest people are not those who endure endless suffering. They are the ones who recognize when endurance becomes self-destruction. Strength is knowing when to stay and when to leave. Wisdom is choosing environments that help you grow, not places that keep you trapped. And remember this: your energy shapes your destiny. The people around you influence your mindset, your habits, and your future. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to improve, who celebrate your progress, and who respect your boundaries. You deserve relationships that bring calm instead of chaos, support instead of stress, and encouragement instead of doubt. The moment you start protecting your peace, your life begins to change in ways you never expected. Because strong people do not fight every battle. They choose the life worth protecting. And once you choose peace over drama, respect over approval, and growth over conflict, toxic people no longer control your story. From that moment forward, you do.